The Nigerian police force has commenced investigations into the brutal murder of a Plateau first-class traditional ruler, Lazarus Agai, which occurred in Bokos local government area of Plateau State. A 24-hour curfew imposed on the town of Bokos by the state government has also begun. The Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations, Joshua Kabila, says that investigations into the killings has taken off with the redeployment of special investigative team from the force headquarters, as well as the release of a helicopter for aerial surveillance of the community.
The town of Bokos and environs has been in mourning since the murder of the traditional ruler, Safran Kuleri. Business activities has been paralyzed as angry youth continue to mount roadblocks at major intersections in the town. In response to the call for investigations into the killings, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of operations is here to begin his findings.
The police will fish out the killers of this revered traditional ruler and his relations, and the police officer who is also his guard. And with your input, because this thing is going to be based on intelligence, no matter how long it takes, I believe that we're going to get the killers of this traditional ruler that represent the people of Bokos.
Despite security presence, the aggrieved youth carried on protesting, but the State Police Commissioner wants their cooperation.
You should allow the law enforcement agents to do the work, Allow them to do the work. They are not your enemies. We welcome any information from anybody.
A senator representing Plateau Central, Mr. Joshua Dariye, is asking to set up a committee to look into the cause of such killings.
We don't know where this strange element is coming from. Our prayer and appeal to the federal government is that a high-power investigation committee should be set to look into the immediate and remote cause so that we can bring our people back. And my appeal to the youth, please let us calm down. Too wrong cannot make a right.
Security presence is very evident in Bokos, but what is more important for the people is to see the perpetrators brought to book.
As that investigation continues in Plateau State, the Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdul Rahman Dambazao, says security agencies must maintain high standards in the discharge of their duties when dealing with crisis situations in the country. He said this during an interactive session on media engagement in crisis situations for military, security and response agencies in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. The minister, who was represented by his Director of Media, told participants to be committed to maintaining law and order. The former spokesman of the Defense Headquarters, Major General Chris Olukolade, lauds the performance of the military in curbing insurgency and militancy in the country.
It's very exciting to know that our country is believing their armed forces and security agencies to get results, and that the nation is not disappointed. This has always been the desire of the armed forces to be acknowledged and appreciated, and it's good to see it being done now. And from all indications, we know that the armed forces and the security agencies are poised not to disappoint the nation. And I think their training such as this will be useful in achieving that objective.
One of the mandates of the Center for Crisis Communication is to be able to enhance good media communication between the military, security and response agencies in Nigeria, especially in crisis situations. Therefore, for the last 3 months, we have been engaged in conducting seminars in Abuja and in the Northeast, as well as South here, to be able to enhance the capacity of our military, security and response agencies, public relation officers, in how they will be able to engage the media in crisis situations.
From the south-south, where that session held, to the northwest, where all illegal structures erected on the Kaduna Polytechnic land at the Gbagi Villa community in Chukun local government area of Kaduna will be demolished by the state government. This is coming from Governor Nasir El-Rufai during a visit to the community to assess the level of encroachment by the residents. He says his administration will not tolerate any form of land speculation or encroachment on public property and warns citizens to desist from acquiring land belonging to the government.
Gbagi Villa community, a growing house and estate in the suburb of the Kaduna metropolis, shares its boundary with the government-owned state polytechnic. With over 35,000 inhabitants and counting, this community has been in the news for some contentious reasons. Developers and individual owners are said to have illegally built on a disputed land belonging to the Kaduna State Polytechnic. Residents are worried about this situation. They hope the state government reconsiders its decision to retake the land. Governor Nasir El-Rufai is here on a fact-finding plus assessment tour.
These buildings will have to go. We do not condone illegality in this state. And in Kaduna State, you cannot hide behind your religion or your ethnic group to break the law and get away with it. We will go through a process. We will give everyone the opportunity to show that he or she has title to the land and approval to build. If you don't have these two, the law will apply and will take the buildings down.
His verdict doesn't go down well with leaders of the community who claim they are in court to affirm their legality as owners.
These buildings are not illegal. For you to declare that a place is illegal, you have to wait for the court to declare. And this case is already in court. And we understand that by the rule of law, whatever we do, if there is a dispute on any issue, the court is the appropriate place for adjudication.
This, the government believes, should not be an excuse to violate state laws.
The case in court has little to do with breaking the law. When you break the law, you can't go to court and stop action. This is a criminal conduct. The case in court is a civil matter. They are separate. We will look at the case in court, but as I said, you cannot steal and then go to court and sue the government to say, stop, don't prosecute me for stealing. They are two separate matters.
In the meantime, about 1,000 homeowners have been served notices of eviction and demolition by the State Urban Planning Agency based on the state's 1958 Township Building Rules and Environmental Protection Laws of 2010. Pending when the bulldozers move in, residents ask that the demolition order be suspended until the court rules on the matter, and only if that judgment comes in their favor will this block-making industry continue to churn out blocks for more buildings to spring up in the community.